And, a lot of times when he says certain things on social media, I say, he's to me, he's still a kid.
Gervonta Davis and Floyd Mayweather have finally decided to take their long-running rivalry to the next stage, with plans for an exhibition fight. This will happen once Davis steps away from the sport. It's starting to feel a bit like the whole Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul situation, and if that's the case, fans might not be thrilled with what's to come, especially since the build-up to it hasn't been very exciting. However, unlike Tyson, Mayweather has stayed more active after retiring, taking part in several exhibition bouts.
About what's right and what's wrong. He got the job done, but my hat off to Ryan Garcia, tough competitor, tough fighter, and the best man won.
Gervonta Davis may be too strong and athletic for Floyd Mayweather to match up with, even though it might seem hard to believe. This all stems from the latest twist in the relationship between Davis and his former mentor. Their bond soured badly last year, and recently, Davis opened up about some of the strange things Mayweather did to him years ago. This pushed Mayweather to break his silence, and once he did, the two decided to settle their differences in a way that could benefit them both financially.
Floyd outdoing him. He always been like that. You know what I mean? So I gotta focus on what I'm focused on. He already did what he had to do, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Me, if I did what I like what he did in the sport, I ain't gonna lie, I'd be the same way. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I don't fault him for stand to himself and things like that. You know what I mean? But it's also a part of me type thing, like come back and help too. You know what I mean? So it's much love to the whole Mayweather promotion. You know what I mean? Ain't no bad blood type shit. And a lot of people think when I be tweeting on Instagram, I be mad. I just be talking.
With Gervonta Davis planning to retire in the next few months, an exhibition fight with Floyd Mayweather seems more likely than ever. But how did they end up in another public disagreement? This time, their fallout was highly visible, and while it caused some drama, Davis used it as fuel to become a better fighter and an even bigger star, both in the US and globally. On the Mr. J. Hill podcast, Davis got candid about what went down with Mayweather.
What came out still on top?
With Floyd? You said, what was the lose-lose situation? What you mean?
Just a little situation that he put me in to, make me lose. But he thought I was gonna lose. But
you talking about like a boxing match or?
Yeah, a boxing match.
Ooh, if you don't mind. If you don't want to, it's fine.
Joseph Pedraza, my first world title. I was 16-0. I was 16-0. 16-0. And I was 21 at the time. And I haven't fought in 7 or 8 months. And around that time, I wasn't making that much money. I probably was making $10,000 a fight. So 6 months is crazy to not fight, So when they came back and it was like, all right, you gotta fight. He was like, you gotta fight this fighter, which is Joseph Pedraza. If you don't fight him, you're not fighting. You're sitting on a shelf. So I had to fight him. In the midst of all that happened, I got evicted. I had to sell my jewelry. So now, and remind you, I'm letting them boxers that you talking about, I'm putting them on game.
Gervonta Davis shared that when you're around someone you admire, like Mayweather, you start to see they're not always who they seem to be, which can be disappointing and hurtful. Davis explained that he had to go his own way and focus on his own path. He also talked about situations where Mayweather put him in tough positions, like his first world title fight against Jose Pedraza. Davis was only 21, hadn't fought in 7 or 8 months, and wasn't making much money, around $10,000 per fight. He was told he had to take the fight or risk being sidelined. At the time, he got evicted and had to sell his car. Davis believes Mayweather did this on purpose.
Tank, you talked about leaving Mayweather on the Brian Custer podcast.
I didn't say I'm leaving. I said my contract was up.
So there's still a possibility that you maybe... Tank, you talked about leaving Mayweather on the Brian Custer podcast.
I didn't say I'm leaving. I said my contract was up.
So there's still a possibility that you may resign.
Yeah.
So this is your last fight with Mayweather promotion?
Yes, sir.
Tank, you talked about leaving Mayweather on the Brian Custer podcast.
I didn't say I'm leaving. I said my contract was up.
So there's still a possibility that you may resign.
Yeah.
So this is your last fight with Mayweather promotion?
Yes, sir.
Tank, you talked about leaving Mayweather on the Brian Custer podcast.
I didn't say I'm leaving. I said my contract was up.
So there's still a possibility that you may resign.
Yeah.
So this is your last fight with Mayweather promotion?
Yes, sir.